Hi there, it's Jodi. Welcome to our first episode of Tuesday Tips. I'm excited today to tell you about our liquid glue and when I use it and how I use it. So I'm pulling in this card that is one of my cards from my free card kit in the mail for this month, October 2021. And I'll just show you the first basic way that you can use the liquid glue. You can use it just like you do there's a little blob on the end there, any regular adhesive to attach layers. So you can just put some liquid glue on the back like this and stick your designer paper right down on the layer of cardstock. So how I put this layer on here, I can use the liquid glue just to attach my layers together. Now, honestly, I prefer to use my Stamp and Seal, this type of adhesive, just for regular layers like that. But I always go to my liquid glue to do the next part. So if you take a look at this card, we've got a garden green card base. I'm not seeing my bone folder here, so I'll just use my finger. So I'll fold that for the card base, and then I already used my die to cut this piece out with Pear Pizzazz. Now the idea is to attach this on here. So I could use my Stamp and Seal, and I could go on the bigger areas here and get some of it to attach, but I would have a really hard time with this adhesive in these smaller parts. And so I want all of it to be attached. Sometimes when I attach layers, I don't mind if stuff is sticking up a little bit, but for this, I really want it to be flat onto the card base. So what I'm going to do, this is the key right here. This is the silicone craft mat that we have, and I'm gonna lay this so the back side is up, it's face down, and I'm gonna put a little puddle of the liquid glue over here in the corner. Now you can use a little piece of sponge, you can use one of our sponge daubers, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to dab some glue and then gently dab it onto the back of this piece. So this is what I do anytime, every time I've got some intricate details on a layer that I'm trying to attach. Okay, so that little puddle did about half of it. I'm gonna add a little bit more here. I don't want to get too much, just a little bit goes a long way. So just dabbing all of the area. Let's see, I'll hold on up here. Okay, and now it's even sticking to my fingers here. Now I can turn this, set it right on my card base. I press it down a little bit, but then what I like to do is turn it over face down and really rub over it good like this to make sure it's stuck on there well. So I just use a very little bit when I'm sponging it onto the actual layer that I want to stick down. I just want it to kind of be tacky, and then it's going to have a nice, flat, solid hold on my cardstock. Now you might be wondering, well, what about the craft sheet? I think you can see when I turn it in the light there, now there's all these little pieces of glue on here, right? So easy to clean up my craft sheet. I literally just take my finger. Do you see how it's just balling up? Let me see, make sure I literally go over it with my finger and it just comes off. So I can do that, you know, just kind of rub it off. You could use part of the sponge if you wanted to, that's not got the glue on it, and just clean it up. This bigger area, same thing. It'll just ball up, rub off. This will be good as new and ready to use on your next project. So our liquid glue, absolutely fine to use to attach one layer of paper or cardstock to another. Especially helpful when you have something more intricate that you need to get ink, or excuse me, adhesive in those little spaces in the intricate die or whatever it might be that you're attaching. So that's how I like to use our liquid glue. Silicone mat and some type of sponge, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching.